Hola, hola, my name is Jackie, and today I'm here to bring to you a book review. I know, it's been too long. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Talon by Julie Kagawa. Talon is the story of Amber and Dante Hill, and they live in it's like a contemporary world, but it turns out that there is dragons amongst us. Is that the word? There's dragons amongst us. Reminds me a little bit of how the vampires in Twilight live among the humans, you know? So that's what Amber and Dante are doing with this organization called Talon. Talon is the whole organization as a whole. Does that make sense? Probably not, but let's roll with it. Talon is looking to create the strongest race and probably take over the human, not take over, that's not their goal because there's so little dragons compared to the human population, but ultimately they may want to do that. Now, Talon is really strict. They have basically a life set out for all of their dragons, and Amber is a hatchling, which means she's really young, bold, and brave, and what else? Impulsive. And her brother is the opposite. He's really calm, and he wants to go with the rules. He wants to help out Talon as much as possible, and they're trying to balance each other out, right? But at the same time, there's this organization called what's it called? St. George. St. George, they've been enemies with Talon for a really long time. St. George is the organization of dragon slayers or hunters, whatever you want to call them, and they basically are kind of fanatic, and they want to get rid of all the dragons in the world. They have these missions that are like pretty epic and badass, and they kill dragons. So in this story follows Ember and a couple other dragons and dragon hunters, and then there's Garrett. Garrett is a dragon hunter, St. George soldier, and so he is sent on a mission to try and figure out what is going on in this beach to where Ember is living. Ember was sent there basically as part of her training to try and fit in as much to the human population. So it's part of her training. And then St. George has this suspicion that there's dragons lying there. So this is what Garrett and his partner are trying to do. They're trying to find out who is the dragon amongst them. And Garrett doesn't know that Ember is the dragon. So they start off a friendship, and things go on from there. There's also Riley. Riley is a rogue, is what they call, which is like a runaway from Talon. He didn't want to follow Talon's orders, so he's kind of like a criminal runaway right now. And Riley wants to get Ember on his side and turn against Talon and a bunch of other dragons that are with him. So that's basically the gist of the whole story. I'm gonna say this kind of pains me and saddens me because Julie Kagawa I did a whole video about her. She's one of my favorite authors. My favorite author, I'm sorry. And this just didn't meet my expectations. I was hoping, I don't know, it was just, let me start off with the setting. The setting, the whole thing, it sounds negative, but I have to say it. It sounds really cliche. Not the idea of the dragons itself, but just the things that happen throughout the book would happen in any other kind of like summer, because they're there for the summer, right? To try and fit in and all that. And it's just really cliche. It takes place in a beach, and they surf, and a lot of other common things that happen around there. The side characters are just really side characters. They don't add anything. I didn't feel that they added anything to the story. And just, it was really predictable. I knew what was going to happen as soon as the second point of view came in, because it's told from multiple point of views, and I kind of knew already what was going to happen. I wasn't drawn in, most importantly, to the dragons. They kind of talk in the book, and that kind of feels weird to me. Like, a dragon talking? Isn't he supposed to be kind of dangerous? Or I'm not sure if they're like communicating in the dragon language to be specific, but it just kind of felt a little bit off to me. I didn't like that. And what else? I'm gonna say some of the things that I did like. I liked the idea of the dragons being involved. I've never really read anything about dragons, and it sounded really interesting. I liked how there was conflict throughout the book. It made for an interesting read. However, a lot of it, especially Ember, when she's trying to figure out whether or not to betray Talon and leave and be free, a lot of the time she was like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Shouldn't be doing this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And this was just the back and forth that was going on throughout the whole entirety of the book. And I don't plan to continue reading it. It makes me really sad. I'm sorry, Julie. Okay. If you haven't read the book, you could check it out if you like. I'm sorry. It's really painful for me. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. So I don't necessarily recommend it. Do not start off, if this is your first Julie Kagawa book, do not start with this one. I recommend the Blood of Eden series 1,000 times more than this one. But if you're into dragons, you might as well give it a try. It doesn't hurt anything, you know. If you haven't read it, then you should probably leave. If you have, stay and let's discuss the rest. Okay? Bye. Okay. Let's start off with Ember. We knew all throughout the book that she was gonna leave Talon because it's just so plainly written in her thoughts that she wants to leave. She wants to be free, right? So, and then there was the moment where Garrett revealed himself as a St. George soldier, and I was like, what are you doing? Here's the thing, I like Garrett because he was attractive. I just didn't really love him as a character. I don't know what it was about him. Riley was like your typical bad boy, but he didn't, I mean, he had some substance to him because he cared about the other 2 hatchlings, and he cares, you could tell that he cares about getting rid of Talon and joining others for his cause. So I respect him for that. But at the same time, like, there's something that doesn't make me like him. Ember, she irritated me at times. Like, for example, when she went to go and fly with Riley, when his brother had told her, that it was better for them to stay together, that he didn't want them to be in trouble, that they didn't want them to be separated. And I was just like, come on, why are you being so reckless, you know? I mean, I get that she's a teenager and a hatchling, but there has to be some boundaries, right? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Talon. Talon is way too mysterious for me to trust them. I don't trust them at all. There was just a lot of things off about them. That scary Talon lady was really weird. I didn't like her. I don't know what they're planning for Ember and Dante. Like, it seems kind of like the training that they did, it doesn't seem like it fit what their goal was. And then there was Dante. I didn't like that he didn't share anything with his sister. I mean, maybe it's gonna come in hand in the second book that he was trying to protect her from something, or maybe even something else, but when he wouldn't talk about his training, and I was just so irritated that he wouldn't tell her anything. St. George is also a little too weird to trust in. I mean, I don't trust any of them, but for the battle that's been going on between Dragon and Talon for a really long time, and it's bound to burst at some moment, right? Some war or something. So maybe that's possibly what Talon's training the hatchlings to do, to be prepared for a war or an attack against St. George. So that's my theory. Okay, the cliche. Let me explain why I say cliche. I say cliche because, okay, you know when they went on their first date and they went to the carnival, I was like, is he gonna take her somewhere nice, somewhere special? I don't know, some nice special place, you know? And he turns up at the carnival. You can see that at any movie, romantic movie you'll ever see. They go to this like beach carnival and the guy wins the prizes for the girl, and so on and so forth. Same with the mall. When they went to the mall and they played the video games and the food court, been there, done that. Let me know what you thought of this book, and I think that's it. I'll see you in let me know if you'll read it in the second book. And yeah, hasta luego, amigos. Bye.